Some of the nerfs and buffs for an upcoming balance patch in Hearthstone have been leaked. I'm Uncorrupt, and I've got the details for you right here. We're getting this information from Twitter. Aleko Gareko is the what I would call balance ambassador for the Hearthstone team. This individual will occasionally take to Twitter and explain upcoming balance changes or balance philosophy. So if you're interested in that information, you can always follow at Aleko Gareko on Twitter. We see Aleko posted, due to a small oopsie doopsie. You gotta hate those. A patch plan for next Tuesday was partially pushed early. Some clever sleuths were able to spot a handful of card changes before things were reverted, and I can confirm that the changes seen on live are accurate, but there's much more. So what happened was, there was a patch that got pushed a little bit early to at least one of the live servers. People playing at that time saw some cards that were different, had changed. They took screenshots, and then of course, it went all over the internet. And Aleko felt the need that he needed to address this on Twitter, and we've got some of the details down below. We're doing a small number of nerfs this patch. Vile Library loses the base 1/1, which means the buff just gets a little bit smaller. Stag Spirit Wild Seed will make a 3/2 weapon, so the 5/4 Stag is only going to give a 3/2 weapon. A little bit of a nerf there to the weapon. Probably needed. The 4/2 weapon was really strong, especially in something like Face Hunter, where you just need all the damage you can get. Snowfall Guardian becomes base 5/5, but no longer grows, based on minions frozen. This one is actually a really big change. Snowfall Guardian now is a way to swing the game. You freeze the board, you get a really big minion in play, and if you're able to freeze it once or twice more, you just win the game, and maybe your opponent can't do anything, especially if they're a board-based deck. The reason this change is big is because now the Snowfall Guardian is only going to be a 5/5. And so what it's going to do is, in the terms that I use, it artificially extends the game. And all I mean by that is, you make the game last longer, but it doesn't really have the potential in most cases to change the outcome of the game. So it's really just like extended BM. You should probably concede. That's going to be a big change, and Shaman is definitely going to be worse off because of it. I'm personally not too upset about it. Everybody's opinion is going to be different. I'm in a position where it doesn't necessarily matter to me what decks are good. Because of my collection, I'm going to be able to have whatever deck is good. I understand that not everybody's in that position, and I hope that this does not make Shaman unplayable if that's your favorite class, or if it's the only class that you have cards to be able to support. But the reason why I'm okay with it is because I feel like Shaman, especially with Hammerbake Bolner, is just able to abuse hand disruption. So every time new disruption is printed, Shaman is able to make the most use out of it out of all the classes. And what I specifically mean is Bolner Theatar, Bolner Mutinous, and of course the Macaws that can repeat all of these effects. It's just too much disruption. You end up with a game against Shaman, and you're just guaranteed to lose because Mutinous eats all the minions in your hand. Or they Theatar and take all your best stuff and stick you with 1/1 Piranhas, or whatever the case may be. So I'm comfortable with the existing Shaman decks kind of being pushed out of play. My hope is that something like Burn Shaman's going to see some experimentation. Maybe Bioluminescence can make a comeback in some form. Certainly I don't want to see Shaman suffer. I don't want to see it suffer at all. But I feel like the community suffers because of the way Shaman functions now. So overall, probably a good change, but it is going to have a big impact on the meta. Celestial Alignment will no longer affect the opponent, so that means the Druid will go back to 1 mana crystal. All their cards cost 1. But it's not going to affect the opponent at all. This is another good change. Celestial Alignment's been complained about for a while. I think people have kind of grown tired of the card. And in most cases, against Celestial Alignment Druid, once it's played, the Druid is almost guaranteed to be able to win. I'm sure you've been there before. I like this change. And I don't think anybody's going to really be mad that Celestial Alignment is just going to be gone. Hopefully it becomes unplayable. In Wild, Cobalt Illusionist will cost 5 mana. Not gonna lie, I'm not a Wild guy. I have no idea what this does, but it is a nerf, and it's something that they felt like needed to be addressed. So Wild, getting a change could be something good there if you're interested in that format. In addition to these nerfs, we're also doing a substantial number of buffs. I think a lot of people are going to be excited to hear that. I know I am. Warrior, Paladin, and Demon Hunter certainly could use the buffs, and I hope to see those classes be playable. I know there's a lot of people that enjoy those classes. And I know that people are probably looking for playable cards, playable decks within those classes. Some of these have already been discovered. Edwin is going to be a 3 mana 3/3. So this one is really interesting. I've already seen some people talking about, hey, Edwin is going to be OP. This wasn't the right buff. Something else should have happened for Rogue. My take on it is a little bit different. I don't exactly know what this is going to do. But when you think about when Edwin is played, it's going to be 1 mana cheaper, which is a buff. It's going to potentially allow you to be able to play an extra card that Edwin draws, which gives you an extra 2/2 buff, which is then also going to allow you to draw an additional card. So the potential upside of this is you get an extra 2/2 buff, and you potentially draw an extra card. But there's going to be in-game scenarios where you play Edwin, and the Edwin draws Krakatoa, and you don't have the mana to be able to play it, and so it could actually be a nerf because you're losing the base 1/1. If you play the 3/3 Edwin, draw 1 card and can't play it, it's now just a 3 mana 3/3, which really isn't all that different than the 4 mana 4/4, but its board presence actually could be a little bit smaller. So I don't know how impactful that's going to be, but I can certainly see a scenario where it's not going to be broken, as I've seen some people saying already. We're just going to have to wait and see how it plays out within the game itself. Also, we see here Relic Vault, the 2 mana Relic Vault is the Demon Hunter location. It's just going from 3 mana to 2 mana, trying to give Demon Hunter a little bit of help with those relics. This buff on its own is not going to be enough to get the relic package to see play. Again, all of the buffs have not been revealed. It's just the ones that were discovered by this patch inadvertently going live. There could be more help for the Relic Demon Hunter package, but this one buff is not going to do it. The relics are still going to be just a little bit too slow. Also, I would offer that they have to be really careful about how they're going to buff the relics, because as I've said all along, the relics start slow, but they're going to snowball hard. If they give a little bit too much help to relics, then Demon Hunter is just going to be absolutely insane. For the rest of the buffs, stay tuned for the patch notes early next week. Paladin, Demon Hunter, and Warrior fans should have a lot to look forward to. Hope you all enjoyed our impromptu preview. Hopping over to HearthstoneDecks.net, we can actually see some additional changes. These changes are confirmed because people were able to take screenshots of the cards while they were live. Halkius, the Rogue Legendary, now has Stealth. I really don't think that's going to do a whole lot. The 5/4 is going to have Stealth, but it still doesn't seem like it's going to be that great. Halkius, of course, goes into a rogue secret, and then when that secret is revealed, he's going to be resummoned. But your opponent has all the control of when the secrets are revealed, so I think you'll be able to play around this pretty well. Halkius and Secret Rogue, if this is all there is, probably still not going to see a lot of play and not going to be all that powerful. Relic Vault, as we've already discussed, is going from 3 to 2. Relic of Extinction, they have a note here, this may not be accurate, going from 2 to 1. This is not confirmed, so I'm not even going to talk about that. We're not going to engage in hearsay and conspiracy theories. Magnifying Glaive, this is the Demon Hunter weapon that draws cards until you have 3 in hand, going from 2 attack to 3 attack, so that's going to be a little bit of a buff for an aggro version of Demon Hunter. And Bibliomite, the 2 mana 4/4, is now going to go to a 5 attack stat line, so a small change there. It looks like aggro Demon Hunter is going to be getting a little bit of help. Certainly we would expect relics to get a little bit more help, and nobody really knows what's going to happen with Warrior and Paladin because nobody's playing those classes right now, so even though the changes were live, nobody was playing them to be able to see them and to be able to grab those screenshots. Definitely some exciting things coming to Hearthstone. I'm looking forward to it. I know you are. In the words of my mentor from a long time ago, you better change your strategy. Thank you for watching.